What is up, Smushy Gang? So Sweets Kendamas is doing another Community Kendama series where they put out a blank template and let the Kendama community go crazy with their own custom designs. And the Kendama community never ceases to amaze me with their talent and far superior to my artistic abilities. So I wanted to take a look at some of my favorite designs that I've seen pop up. All of the designs you can see if you look up the hashtag Community Kendama Series. You can see everybody's designs. Obviously I couldn't fit like the majority of them in this video. These are just some of the unique ones that stood out to me, and yeah, let's take a look. So here's the template that everyone had to work with. Now every day like new designs are still popping up, so there's some that I may not have even seen yet. And again, this isn't like a top 10 the best of the best. It's just, you know, 10 or 15, I might have more than 10 that really stood out to me that I think are unique, and I want to show them off. As you can see on the template, people could fill out their name, Instagram, their design name, like the name of the kendama, and then a brief description, you know, maybe what inspired the design or what the design means to them. I did just blank out everybody's name just because I don't know if people want their names in the video, but I left, of course, everyone's Instagram, so all the credit to all these awesome artists. Go check out their Instagrams and check out the Community Kendama Series hashtag if you want to see a whole bunch more cool designs like these. So now that you know what we're working with here on this blank template, let's get into the first design that I think is really awesome. We've got the egg ramen from Aziz 1020. Inspired by ramen, of course. Interesting to apply into the Tama design. Good luck. I guess they're wishing good luck to Sweets if they actually go this route and make these designs, because if you don't know, Sweets actually has once or twice, I don't know, done like a wave where they pick like 3 of the community designs and they actually make them real. But yeah, this ramen design I thought was really cool because I've seen a couple other food inspired ones, but this one really embodies the ramen. You got like the egg yolk on top, and then I guess this would be like egg and green onions or something, and the noodles, and the pink is like those pink swirly things in the ramen. I think I know ramen, but yeah, I think this one's really awesome. Captures ramen as an art, and looks really good in terms of like the actual usability, because you got the yellow tracking dot, and then you got the darker tracking hole at the bottom of the ramen bowl. Anyways, awesome stuff. Aziz 1020, and we'll keep going. You can also see they did some custom wood burning on the cups here, chopsticks, and then a bowl of ramen. It's pretty cool. Next up, from Nikita MZVK, we've got Simple Space. Now the inspiration, the night sky is breathtaking, but something is always hidden from our eyes. That's a little deep and spooky. But the reason I picked this is because I've seen a lot of different like galaxy ones, you know, the typical like purple, pink, like galaxy looking thing, but this was like a super simple design. It's like almost black. I think it's like a really dark navy blue, but it might just be black. But then with the white design to create the galaxy, it looks more cartoony, more kid-like, and I really like the way it came out. I also like all the wood burning in the cups, and then you've even got the constellation there. A nice stripe through the whole Tama itself makes it like well balanced for actually using, because that is important that these would actually be like fun to play with, not only look good. So I think this is a nice simple space design. Looks really good stuff. Oh, this was awesome. I don't know why the picture is a little bit blurry, but inspired by the Jawbreaker from Brittany Lenova. You can see like why this is so cool, because like the tracking at the bottom, obviously like the main design is the Jawbreaker, but then the tracking at the bottom like shows if you like cut or like sucked on the Jawbreaker to get the layers. I think that's pretty cool, and yeah, that's another thing that's like the actual physical object captured in the Dama design, which is really cool. Moving on to the coral, water-inspired, colorful corals representing life underwater. I think this is really cool because not only is like all the colors from the corals look really nice and kind of wavy and, you know, sets a vibe, but the pitch black as like the underwater I think is really great contrast to the colors. I also like that some of the color made it into the cups, which you don't see too often, so that's really neat. Of course, a good tracking dot, and this is just a really nice use of contrast of colors, which I think looks great. The Infinity Tama by Nathan Davila. I think this is really awesome because not only does this look good like to like someone who loves Marvel and Thanos and the whole shebang there. But even if you know nothing about Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet, you could still appreciate this is like a really cool design. It's like the bronzy gold with like the jewels and gems. Like, it looks good. And then it's also like a nod to those people who kind of like get it, or they're into like the Marvel universe. It looks really cool. It's unique because it's got like different colors like, kind of around. A lot of Tamas usually go for symmetry, but this one with the varying colors because of the Infinity Stones, I think it works perfect. It's a good nod to the Marvel fans, but looks good to anybody. And also the little infinity etched at like the bottom at the handle stall point there. It's a nice little touch for the Infinity Tama. Cool stuff. The next design is coming in from Tilo Custom, called the Red Sun. Now this, I think like he or she describes here, it's like a really traditional choice, stylistic choice. Simple red dot at the top, white dot at the bottom, works for tracking. And then I chose to kind of show this off because I really love the natural wood look. Now you can see they mention on one side it says growth and the other it says focus in Japanese. So cool like traditional vibes, and of course a good nod to Japan, who made the kendama happen. But I love seeing like the natural wood combined with the paint, so that's why I want to show this off. Really cool contrast and really cool design. This one's funny, but it actually looks really good too. The barrel, I don't know how they like the art style, I guess, that they have or use or whatever is like super realistic, and it reminds me of like being a pirate, and I like pirates, so I mean this is just a top-notch design from Mingken. This is like a really good balance between cartoony and like realistic looking. Like I said, I like the wood look, and it's the art style that brings this barrel to life, and I really like this design. And it's like 100% like it's not just a design on the Tama, but like the whole Tama becomes a barrel. I think that's pretty neat and a very unique style, so I wanted to show that one off. Coming in next from William Herbo, we've got the Devil's Bones, and it's of course very simple compared to some of the other designs that we've seen so far, but I thought this concept was really cool and not something I've seen before, where kind of all around the Tama would be like the cube like outline, and I'm like trying to picture how that would look like in hand, like in real life. And I'm thinking maybe if you like colored the sides differently than like the top and bottom, it would look like there's like a cube like cut out in the Tama. I thought this was really interesting, and it just made me think about like unique designs. So that's why I want to show this one off, maybe inspire some more creative minds. Cool stuff, Will E. Of course he was inspired by like a dice here, but it was really the cube aspect that really intrigued me. Up next is more of a cute Wito design called Japanese Sweets. The whole ball illustrates the color of the traditional Japanese sweet Sakura Mochi, and I drew some popular Japanese sweets. Now, these are really cool. Like, I've seen a lot of designs that are kind of like, a bunch of little pictures in like one, rather than like one whole thing. And this just embodies that concept very well. You got the good balance between like some tracking, and then you've got some cute little designs. You got the text, which means sweets, which I mean sweets, like sweets, and then Sweets Kendama. I think this is pretty genius, and it looks really cool. It's a really cool design, and whoa, why did we zoom in? Yeah, it's a really cool design. Sweets, genius. I love it. Wonderful. On a similar note to the previous, this is another design that kind of features a bunch of like little drawings or pictures in one. I really like the message that was attached to this one. So at Once You Go Jack says the name of the design is The Mob, and the design represents the bringing together of people from all different subcultures, which I think that's a fantastic message, because obviously a lot of the people that play kendama do a lot of other things as well, and the kendama community is a great example that people with just a minor common interest can kind of get together, do something, enjoy something, support each other, and you got guitar, music, juggling, skateboard, all these other things combined into this tama. I think it's a great message, and it looks really cool, so good work. Almost a bit of a comic book style, or like doodle on paper style with the black and white. It's cool. Very cool. This is just a fantastic looking design. Now, it's inspired by Tyler the Creator's album Flower Boy. Not like the biggest listener of Tyler the Creator myself, but maybe you are, and this would mean a lot more to you. But even if you had no idea who Tyler was, you can see that this Tama design is just incredible. You got the sunflower perfectly like becoming the bevel and the hole. It's like, you know, it's again, it's like making the Tama actually be the thing, because the middle of the sunflower is like, looks like the hole, you know what I mean? And then just nice orange glowing sky on the top is nice. The side view, you can see it's like a Bob Ross beautiful painting. It's a great design overall. The inspiration is dope. And yeah, great work to Peku. You already know we had to include the Goofy Goober by Ogladex here. Classic SpongeBob pants on the bottom and the SpongeBob spongy body on the top. It basically looks like a half split with a bit of extra flair with like the belt line, I would assume that is. And then like SpongeBob's white shirt and also the Krabby Patty burned into the cups. I mean, this is just the definition of fun, and it takes, I mean, SpongeBob's like not like a simple looking character, but simplifies him down, gives the nod, but still looks like a really good kendama. This one by Assassinaustin I think is a really cool design, using like white and like kind of the glow effect on these colors to create like neon signs. You can see in the Sweets logo at the top. It just looks, it's got that like neon bar jazz vibe feel with the brick, and I think this was done absolutely perfectly. Simple enough with the tracking on the bottom and the Sweets neon sign on top. Like it's almost like too much detail and not enough detail, but in a good way to make this simple but look super good. The neon sign design, it's awesome. Neon dreams, love it. Assassinaustin, you are saucing awesome. Oh god, that's so cringy. Okay, yeah, next. Here's an awesome design from an artistic and design standpoint, the Oni Blossom by Kevsart. First of all, just the color contrast is perfect between the pink and the like bright turquoise. The art and the style, of course, a nod to traditional Japanese artwork. I'm assuming this is some kind of Japanese flower here. I don't know exactly what kind of flower it would be, but again, making use of the hole and the bevel as like the center of the flower, I think is always really genius for tracking and aesthetic purposes. And the detail and the intricacies in this mask, I want to say, or Oni, isn't Oni like a Street Fighter person? Japanese art, nice. I also like they went the extra mile to kind of add these waves and dots on the inside. From an artistic standpoint, this is like perfect. Second to last here, we've got the Tree of Life by Starry-eyed Stacy, not Starry-eyed Stacy. Starry-eyed Stacy. I chose this because the wood burning on the kendama itself I think is super cool. Like it's like a tree branching into like the cups. I think that design is really cool because I mean it's like wood and the tree makes the wood and it's like sprouting out to the cups. I think it looks really cool. And then of course the Tama design itself is really cool. It kind of gives me like haunted house vibes with like the glowing light through the trees, but you can see it transitions nice from like bright colors up to dark colors, which would make tracking great. And then it just looks super cool. So yeah, the Tree of Life, great work, Starry-eyed Stacy. Starry. Now this design is super genius. Let me click play on this design so you can see why. Look at this. So when you like spin the Tama on the string, I don't know what it's called when you do like those spinny animation things, but basically there's like a series of little pictures on the sides of the Tama, and when you give it a spin, it'll go through that like little Ken flip, or yeah, it's a whirlwind animation there. So I think that's super neat. I've seen a couple people do this similar like animation when you spin design. It's almost like a flip book, but I thought this one by Pope182 was executed really well. The simple swirl on the top, simple swirl at the bottom, good for tracking, but doesn't take away from this awesome play it again design going around the sides. Whoever came up with this concept I think is genius, and I'd love to see something like this on an actual Tama and have it like in my hand so I could just spin it and not do any tricks or anything, but just spin it all day. With that, like I said, there are so many more awesome designs. If you go check out the hashtag community kendama series. There might even be new ones that got posted after the fact that I even made this, so definitely go check them out. Check out all the original creators that I mentioned that were added on their work here. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these. Again, just some of my most favorite, unique, interesting concepts and designs. And yeah, for all things fun, exciting, and lovely, stay tuned for future stuff. Later.